so much wiser. Won't you please listen to my song? There is no way I could ever turn back now. Won't you please listen to my song? La 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 la. Listen to my song.
Welcome back to Nellascope, the podcast. I'm your host, Chris Nella. I am a singer, I'm a producer, I am an author, and I'm also a super dad. Here on Nellascope, the podcast, we empower creatives to win with their brand. And we do that by giving real life experiences. We do that by giving methods. We give tested and tried methods, not things that are generic or things that are theoretical. These are proven methods that we use. If I haven't done it already, I won't bring it to my Nella Nation. On season 2, episode 3, we're going to switch things up a little bit. So let's get into the format of Nellascope. What we do, we have a couple of segments. We're trying different segments to see what is best for the Nella Nation, what is best for the Nellascope podcast. So we're trying different segments this season. Thank you for the emails thus far, but we want to see what works best and makes the podcast more efficient. On season 2, episode 3, today's topic is how to create your own success. I switched things up a little bit. Our regular topic will be back next week. I had a rare opportunity to speak with a local business owner who has a compelling story that I know all of my creatives in the Nella Nation will appreciate. But before we get into that Indie Fire, it's an exclusive Indie Fire. I want you to hear something that me and my friend Mo Bigger worked on. The song is called Hold On. This is not a release song, but it is inspiration. It's audio inspiration. Nevertheless, I wanted my Nella Nation to hear it here first. Make sure you follow Mo Bigger on all of his social media platforms. He has some great things coming up. That is a brother that you definitely want to watch because he has some things coming up. So that's Mo Bigger across all platforms. Make sure you look for him, follow him, keep your eye on him. Now, without further ado, guys, this is your inspiration. This is what you need to really get up and go. The song is called Hold On. This is Mo Bigger featuring Chris Nella. Enjoy.
Bright there like a Sunday morning. I'm all up in your face, but dog, you never saw me coming. I'm running while you talking noise. I'm stacking up my paper, little duffel bag, boy. You hear me? I'm picking up the pace because the race I run is righteous. The hurdles that I jump try to slump me over lifeless. My Nikes grip the green pastures and thinking about the goodness that I'm copying from the master. Get at me. I used to wear a curl, but my roots were dry and nappy. My mama wear the scars from the beatings of my pappy. He packed his bags as he took a leave of absence. Statistics is the proof from the ignorance of bastards. Caskets, every day they bossing up our future men are smarter than I got, but can't discern the time is crucial. Stunning, flossing by the life they live. We in the hood watching them on the TV cribs still.
Hold on, ain't no time for second guessing. Got to make something out of nothing. Don't complain, go be a blessing. You better hold on. Let's look out for one another. Help our sisters and our brothers. You better hold on.
Still, we never pay our bills, but buy our kids some Jordans. Ballin' while we ballin', cause we know we can't afford them. Applaud them when they try to live out rappers' lyrics. Children die around them, but these parents still don't get it. Admit it, it's time for us to change. Why do we have to lose a generation just to make our message plain? Repeating stupid patterns that be running through our brains. Reaping what we sow. Oh, you didn't know? Excuses, stop them. Hurry up and drop them, cause just like a butthole, everybody got one. Sisters freak nigga while the brothers hoe hopping. They hollering, wrap it up, but they drums still dropping and blocking. To a vote that's systematic, singing we should overcome someday. Whatever, it's time to do better. Gotta see clearer. I think it's gonna start with the man in the mirror, nigga.
Hold on, ain't no time for second guessing. Got to make something out of nothing. Don't complain, go be your blessing. You better hold on. Let's look out for one another. Help our sisters and our brothers. You better hold on. You better hold on. Ain't no time for second guessing. Got to make something out of nothing. Don't complain, go be a blessing. You better hold on. Let's look out for one another. Help our sisters and our brothers. You better hold on. You better hold on. Ain't no time for second guessing. Got to make something out of nothing. Don't complain, go be a blessing. You better hold on. Let's look out for one another. Help our sisters and our brothers. You better hold on.
You gotta hold on.
I know it gets hard sometimes, but you gotta hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Yeah, that's all we need sometimes is to hold on. I hope that song really, really inspired you. And like I said earlier, it's not available for download. It may be available in some time to come, but for right now it's not. It's an exclusive for my Nella Nation. How about that? I told you, you guys mean the world to me, so I want to provide not only premium content, but premium audio. Now let's go ahead and jump into today's topic, how to create your own success. So what we did, we were privileged to go on site with a local establishment here in Jacksonville, Florida, Mackey's Munchies. They are a local staple here in Jacksonville, Florida. Great people, great food. They also have a great story that I wanted to share with all of my creatives. So guys, listen to the jewels. I was joined by Miss Brandy Mackey. She's co-owner of Mackey's Munchies, and she has a story to tell, guys. Listen to the nuggets that she drops in this story. Enjoy. Nella Nation, it's me, Chris Nella. I am here live at Mackey's Munchies with the Mackey family. And guys, I am here to tell you this is going to be a fantastic podcast. The topic of the day's podcast is how to create your own success. We are talking to one of the live embodiments of that. Because Nellascope is the podcast to empower creatives to win with their brand. I wanted to go to some people that I really, really adore and some people that are creating their own success. Mackey's Munchies here in Orange Park, and I am here with the lovely Miss Mackey. Miss Mackey, how you doing today?
I am doing wonderful. Wow, what an introduction. Thank you so very much. And thank you for coming out and giving me the opportunity this morning. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Well, thank you for the love that I get every time when I come and get one of these po' boys. Lord Jesus. Guys, if you are in the Orange Park area, if you are in Florida, you have to come on out to Mackey's Munchies and ask for the po' boy, because I'm telling you, the food is good enough, you will slap your mama, so leave her at home. So guys, again, today's topic is how to create your own success. I want to talk to someone who's making their own success. They receive rave reviews, and if you look online at the pictures online, the people look like they couldn't be happier. And what I love about Mackey's Munchies, when I come here, when I eat their food, it's like I'm eating a piece of home. And I love that. But let's look at the creative side, guys. That's what we do here. They are winning with their brand, with their food, and with their overall affection. Guys, look out for them in your city, in your state. They got some things coming up. Stay tuned. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. How to create your own success. Miss Mackey, won't you tell the Nella Nation a little bit about yourself?
Well, I just want to say thank you for giving me a title, because listening to your podcast, I understood that I am a creative. And so for so long, you just think that you're an overthinker sometimes. So by listening to you, I gained a new confidence that I am a creator. And I think that is a very key element to creating a business and success, because some people are good at cooking, some people are good at doing books, some people are good at other things. But our success in this business has been, we had thoughts and we worked it out. We did it. So the creative thoughts that we had a plan, and then we just followed through. We just did it. Being a successful business, it is just not letting go. You just got to go for what you know. And that has been a key ingredient to our success at Mackey's Munchies.
Tell the Nella Nation how the whole Mackey's Munchies came along. Tell them your backstory. I think it's a beautiful thing. Guys, y'all got to pay attention to this.
Okay. Well, me and my husband have been married for 22 years. We've been together a little bit over that, but we're both Navy veterans. We met in Virginia. I'm from Colorado and he's from New Orleans. So that is the New Orleans influence on Mackey's Munchies. Mackey's Munchies is New Orleans style cooking. And we started our restaurant, our business, our brand, you would say, in Colorado. And then we moved here to Florida because Mr. Mackey didn't like the snow as much. So, somewhere in the Bible says submit to your husband. So I was like, okay, we're going to come on and go to Florida. And we landed in Fleming Island. It's right outside of Jacksonville, but it's a little smaller town. It didn't have too many people that looked like me, which I'm in a brown body. Yeah, so we started really selling food out of our house, because when we moved out here to Florida, he's an executive chef by trade. That's what he went to school for. He was working for a big company. And Florida is at will state, so they can fire you at will. And that's what happened. And so here we were, trying to figure out how we were going to do things, because we had just moved to Florida, and it was during, foreclosure times and during Bush era, I would say. And we started, I seen a lot of construction. And so I said, well, let's just cook some food and let's see if we can sell it to them, and then they can stay on site. So that's how we started kind of selling food right out the house. And then we started doing festivals. Fleming Island Plantation has a pool, and that the restaurant in Fleming Island, and I would say that was like a duplex, and now we're in a mini mansion over here in Orange Park. So I don't think we planned it, but we had to make it happen because of some of the pitfalls that we had. So that's the short story to a long story, but that's the story behind the story. But that's how we ended up here in Orange Park.
I like something you said. One thing happened, but the reaction you gave to Mr. Mackey being at-willed, so to speak, you guys created your own environment to win. That is what it's all about, being creative. You see how your grandma say, turn it around. Take a situation and turn it around. I would say that's what you guys hear, and that's what you guys did, and that's why I wanted to honor you here on the Nella Scope podcast, because of the simple fact you guys are a creative. Him being the executive chef, you being the brains behind the entire thing, you guys are a creative in nature. Now, let me ask you this. So with you guys being hospitable out of your own home towards construction workers, what were some of the key things you guys did to create your own success?
The key things was we created our success off of other people's failures and the way we were treated. So living out in the South, again, I'm from Midwest Colorado, living out here, we would go into places and the atmosphere would be kind of lively, and then we would walk in and it would just get quiet. Or, you go get something and everybody's like, hey, how you doing? Come on in. And then it's like, what do you want? And so for me, I wanted to create something that everyone feel welcome, but especially people like me, And so I think that having to deal with the hurt made me, as a creative, turn it around to make something successful that we built our brand on love. Like if you look at the wall when you first come in, it's love the Mackey family. Everything that I've done associated with our brand ends with Love the Mackies, because I feel like if you see it enough, if you say it enough, it will happen. It will infect someone. So the key to our success, or an ingredient to our success, was making something happen that hurt. And that was love, so it was hurtful, but sometimes, back in the days, you remember that, let your haters be your motivators? Yeah. Well, okay, it's like, this is the remix, so those that hurt you or those that make you mad, then turn around and do something to make yourself glad. That is a main staple, is just love. You gotta put love in whatever you do, even though it hurts sometimes. That's it. The unexpected was, you really don't want to do business with me because I'm brown? So to me, that was like a hidden thing. Like, we're progressing, we're doing business, we're making money, and then you just say, no, I don't want to do business with you. Our location here, 868 Blandon Boulevard, the story behind that is, we were in Fleming Island. We wanted a bigger location.
So Nella Nation, did you hear the message in that? She took the failures. You know how we do it. We apply it to everyday living. She took the failures of the past experiences that she had, and she learned what not to do, improved on that, and now has a successful, thriving business. So guys, the message in that is, look at your competitors in whatever field you're in. If you're a producer, if you're a real estate agent, look at what they're doing wrong. It's not always about what they're doing right. Look at what they're doing wrong. Guys, that's a message right there. So with that, even though you guys have success, what pitfalls did you guys overcome during your journey?
Everybody defines things differently. So we were asked the question pitfall. I looked up the definition, and the definition is a hidden or unexpected danger. So it's something hidden, like a pitfall. You just don't fall into it because you see it. It's something unexpected. To be honest, and it's really been racism. I mean, I feel like, again, living out here in the South, it just made me have a new realization that people just really don't like somebody just because their skin is brown. And I wanted to, because I wanted to franchise. We put a LOI, that's a letter of intent. And the owner at that time wanted a 6-month security deposit, which that is like unheard of. 6 months. And I came up with the money, and he still told us no. I had already had established business in Fleming Island for 3 years. Our credit was pretty good, and we had already had a brand that people recognized. And so his reasoning to me, and he said it, sometimes you can't believe that people be saying what they really think out loud. He was like, I was too aggressive and not a good fit. And I was like, wow, too aggressive, which, I mean, people that's listening that are brown or black, or I like to say chocolate, they know that's code word for black women. That's what they label us as. That's not a nice tone to have or a word to say with dealing with business. So it hurt me. I was like, I got your money. I've done built a brand. We got great reviews, and you gonna tell me no because you think I'm too aggressive and not a good fit? Well, you're right, I am. You have what you say. So I had people calling him. I went and did a hashtag, hashtag open doors, 868 Blandon Boulevard. So when you pulled up Mackey's Munchies, we were showing up that we was here already. It took about a year, and this place stayed vacant for a whole year.
For a whole year. You had money in hand.
For a year. Yes, and let me tell you, when we walked in here, it had tables, chairs, it had toilet paper, aprons, everything, and it set for a whole year. And I told the realtors, I was like, look here, you either put somebody else in it or you gonna give it to me. But I don't really care to look at nothing else, because God said this is our building and this is what I want. Well, the realization is that you still have to go on with life. And it was really hard. I had fell into a deep depression because people were looking at me like, you're crazy. Why don't you just let it go? And so it was probably 6 months in, I started, praying and asking God even more to either release me from this or give me a sign. I'm like, I need a sign. And sure enough, one day this lady called and said, hey, I got something for you. Can you come pick it up? And when he came back, he had a sign. And the sign, I got it right here, y'all. So that's the pause. It says, I know your works. Behold, I have set before you an open door, which no one is able to shut. I know that you have but little power, and yet you have kept my word and have not denied my name. Revelations 3:8. A literal sign. Okay, so I wasn't even crying. I was laughing so hard, like, what? God, you sent me a sign, literally. And so after that gave me enough get up and go. I was like, okay, it's time to start round 2, phase 2. And so I started calling again. I started phoning a friend. Hey, you need to call this man and see what's going on. Well, moving forward, another company came in and bought the whole plaza. So here we are today. I think, you have to not let go of what God told you to do. And don't be afraid to pray and ask him for things, because he will answer and give you signs. We just have to sit back and listen and use that to push us forward to where we got to go.
I think the key of that wonderful story / testimony, I think the key was keep going. Don't give up. Regardless of what it looks like, what it feels like, keep going. Keep up, like my grandmom said, keep on keeping on. That's right. And that's a beautiful testimony, because I'm here in the establishment. It has a warm, cozy feeling to it, and that's before you even eat the po' boys or the beignets. So my next question is, how did you guys bring the New Orleans flavor and culture here to Florida?
My husband loves Louisiana food, and there was really nothing out here like that. Being a chef, he's a picky eater. The plan is, when you're branding and you're marketing, is to look at what's around. Well, nobody was doing anything like New Orleans-y. And so you have soul food, you have barbecue. I needed something that would stand out and that we can grow fast. Out here in Fleming Island, in Orange Park, there was nothing with soul. So when you come in here, we got soul. We're going to cook some soul food. Aye. But the New Orleans style cooking was a strategy to kind of put us on the top of the search. When you're looking for stuff, we stand out.
Yes. Guys, the messages that Mrs. Mackey is dropping today. Did you hear what she said? She didn't see what she wanted around her, so she made something not only to be celebrated, but something that she enjoyed doing. Guys, this is Neloscope, the podcast, where we empower creatives to win with their brand. Mrs. Mackey is breaking it all the way down for us today. With your brand, sometimes if you don't see the product, if you don't see the method, if you don't see whatever needs to be done, go and create it yourself. Have some backbone. Do what's never been done. Because in most situations, the results are legendary. And speaking of legendary results, tell us the secret of your number one seller.
Okay, the secret to our number one seller, the po' boys, it's the bread.
Tell me the story behind the decision that Mr. Mackey made concerning the po' boy. This is all about dedication, guys. Listen to this.
Boy, yes, and love, because I was really mad with him about this, okay? When we opened up in Fleming, again, we kind of switched our brand. So po' boys was the number one thing we were going for. We waited a whole month. Everything was ready to go. A whole month to open, waiting for this bread. And I was like, are you crazy? Do you know how much money we're going to be missing behind this bread? We had a whole bunch of bread that people were shipping us in to try. And he was like, nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. But I think to another ingredient and a core component to our restaurant is consistency. You have to have stuff that's consistent. The decision to wait on the bread was the right one, because it made it consistent. It made our brand that when you come in with people from Louisiana that are looking for a po' boy, they know that that's an authentic one because of the bread, because how soft it is and the texture. So, yeah.
And guys, when I say, Lord have mercy, when I say the bread and the texture of the bread is so soft, you could sleep on it. That's what I mean. And I wouldn't be lying to you. I would not be lying to you.
He'll go to sleep on it. You talk about sleep on it. He'll go to sleep on it, yes.
And they give you a healthy portion enough for after you eat it, you're going to want to go to sleep. And it's so delicious. So by all means, if you are here in the Jacksonville area, you got to come out to 868 Blanding Boulevard, because it's the place to be for New Orleans style food. So let's switch gears. You guys are successful, being interviewed by Folio Weekly, a lot of things going on, a staple in the community. What were some of the things you did in the hard times?
Pray. That's the main thing. Pray, and then you know what? Worship. I use this too. I'll share this with you. I say I'm a wow people, and that's worship over worries. That's
Worship
it.
over
Pray.
worries.
And that's right. Trademark that one. Yes, Mackey's
Trademark.
Munchies. Worship over worries. I tell folks, wow, and then I go put me on some worship music, and I worship over worries all the time. When we were in Fleming Island, I played gospel the whole time. I never turned the radio to nothing else, because I still had a due diligence to serve the community, right? So that was kind of my silent worship over worries, because I had to make sure that the atmosphere coming in and going out was conducive to us and our business. And so I wow people all the time. I listened to your podcast of the day, and I think you had a new artist playing, and I'm downloading that too. That's going to be added to my worship over worry playlist. But praying and wow somebody, worship over worry.
Trademark, Mrs. Mackey, 2020. Because we're international, just to be sure. Worship over worry. Guys, that is what we all sometimes have to take the time to do, because being a creative, sometimes we have to empower ourselves. And if you have to do like Miss Mackey said, worship over worries, do it. Just to keep going, to put one foot in front of the other. Now let me ask you this. For all of my Nella Nation listening out there, for all my entrepreneurs, for all my producers, all my singers, all my artists, what information could you give them to help them build their brand?
I just try to keep this one simple. Change your definition to what people tell you. So when a person tells you no, you find a need and an opportunity. That's your no. And so I have been told no in so many arenas, but I sat back and I just worshiped over worries, trademark it again, and no means, okay, I'm gonna find a need and an opportunity to get it done. Again, the ingredients to making things happen, you can use all kind of different ingredients and cook something up different ways, but you gotta have staples, and your staples should be your prayer, your worship over worries, and redefining words. No, okay, that's cool, but I'm gonna find a need and an opportunity to get what I need to get done. I think if you follow those simple things, that's the keys to your own success. You can do whatever you want to do. I don't have a formula yet, but I know that when things come against me, I redefine what I want it to be. I pray about it, I worship it, and then I say, guess what? We're going to find a need and an opportunity to make it happen.
Would you say that a business plan is important, or some kind of planning? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, okay, so yes, people go to school and you get your education, and you have folks that are in this arena to do it, and I believe that is absolutely important. To be honest, I have been in business for probably almost 10 years, and I have not had one business plan. Do I recommend that? No, because it streamlines things and it makes things maybe easier. Maybe easier for me, I'm a creative, so easy doesn't make sense to me. I need things a little harder to make me move a little faster and to keep that creative juice going. But if you have someone that can create a business plan for you because you need to be on track, then do that. But don't you let that stop you. Don't let it stop you from getting to where you got to go or where you want to go. You find a need and you find an opportunity to get it done.
And you become goal driven at that point, to the next goal, to the next goal. And guys, I'm sitting in living proof of going to the next goal and proceeding to the next goal. Worship over worry, believe in God, and just keep one foot in front of the other. Man, this is a great interview. Like I say, I can't wait until next week, because I'm coming to get another po' boy. But they have some things coming up in the community. Would you want to share anything that is coming up that's going to be hot?
Well, yes. We were blessed with a food trailer. And so blessed means that we got a really good deal on it. It was unexpected. And so we'll be working on that, coming to a neighborhood near you. I'm working with Mr. Chris on some jingles. You gonna do it? Okay. So we're gonna say, drop them beignets. This is just a goal of mine. I'm on my first podcast, got to sing a little tune. We're going to work it out with the food truck, booking caterings, doing some outreach. Yeah, just whatever we want to do. That's what it is to be a boss. You can do whatever you want to do. Just know that when it comes, we just going to make it happen, you know? Yes.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I'm telling you, I have truly enjoyed today.
I have truly enjoyed this too. Thank you so much for picking us to come in here. I really, really appreciate it.
The pleasure is all mine, guys, because I know we always want examples, because sometimes seeing is better than just hearing me talk. As I promised, in season 2, I was going to go and get more people that have stories of success. At the bottom of my heart, the reason why I get up and do these podcasts week after week after week consistently, I want us to win. In closing, Miss Mackey, the mic is yours.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Please like us or share us on Facebook. We are on Instagram. It's Mackey's Munchies. We have a website, www.mackeysmunchies.com. The address is 868 Blanding Boulevard, Orange Park, Florida, 32065. Take the opportunity just to stop and tell somebody that you love them today, because it's important. Everything comes together when you love somebody, then you want to meet somebody, and then you come to a good place to break some bread. And Mackey's Munchies is the place to break bread and just love on each other. So again, I want to say thank you to Mr. Nella. And if you haven't checked out his podcast, check this one out, because it blessed me. It's the 5 properties of success. I've done some of those things, and this has helped. Okay, so don't be afraid to share. If something makes you happy and somebody has done something good for you, share it. Sharing and loving and staying connected. So don't forget to share Mackey's Munchies and Nella Nation. Thank you very much, and see you soon.
And that was Mrs. Mackey from Mackey's Munchies. Guys, I'd like to thank you for tuning in every week. And if you are in Florida, I insist that you come to 868 Blanding Boulevard. Tell them that Chris Nella sent you, and they'll give you some free napkins. How about that? Guys, it's your man, Chris Nella, here at Mackey's Munchies. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you again, Mrs. Mackey, for being my host. Thank you for having the entire Nella Nation here in your establishment. I hope you enjoyed that conversation that I was privileged to have with Miss Brandy Mackey of Mackey's Munchies. They're here in Jacksonville, Florida. Go give them a visit. Now it's time for Moments to be Inspired by. This is the segment where I take time to give you motivational quotes that'll give you a little pep in your step, that'll give your mind a different perspective. One of my favorite quotes to help me battle procrastination is simply this: someday is not a day of the week. Again, one of my favorite quotes that when I'm really in the trenches having a fight with procrastination, I will remind myself of this quote: someday is not a day of the week. And that was Moments to be Inspired by. Nella Nation, episode 3, season 2. It's a wrap. Right now, I have to say thank you for tuning in week after week after week. To all of my people worldwide, and to the people in Israel, to the listeners in Israel, thank you for lending us your ear and listening to this content that we believe will one day change the world and become the #1 music podcast across the world. On today's episode, our topic was how to create your own success. We listened to a Nella Scope the podcast exclusive, Hold On with Mo Bigger featuring Chris Nella, and that song, you can listen to it as much as you want to via the episode, but it has not been released yet. It is an exclusive for the Nella Nation. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and make sure you stop by the brand new hub of all things Nella Scope. That web address is nellascope.podomatic.net. And the way you want to spell that is NELLASCPPOD.podomatic. That's PODOMATIC.net. That's nellascope.podomatic.net. That is the hub. That's the home of all Nellascope episodes thus far. You go there and click on episodes, and there are all the episodes for your listening pleasure. All you got to do is click the picture and the episode will begin. And thanks for the feedback that I received thus far. I've made some different changes on the website. I think you will enjoy it, Nella Nation. So next week, we're going to go back to our regularly scheduled topic, which is how much should I charge for my services? Thank you again so much. If you need me, I'm on Instagram. That's the best way to reach me, at Nellascope. That's NELLASCOPE, just like the podcast. I want you to know one thing before I close out episode 3. God is not mad at you. He is madly in love with you. Let that sink into your spirit. I am Chris Nella with episode 3. Stay tuned, because there is more coming for my Nella Nation. Live hard, laugh hard, and love hard. I will see you next week.